Hey, what up, everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is EverQuest Project 1999. And today we are on the green server on the level 37 Enchanter, I'm pretty sure. 37. Out here in Eastern Wastelands, about to head into the Crystal Caverns. This little event here, I'm not sure exactly how you do it, but here it is. If you've never seen it before, there's a bunch of orcs, a bunch of giants getting ready for war. You'll see it occasionally out here outside of this Rygor fort when you're going into Crystal Caverns. I guess it's a quest or something that people do. I've probably seen it a handful of times. Usually they're just standing there. Sometimes they're actually fighting. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. Cool to get on video there. But heading in, this is the way into Crystal Caverns on our 37 Enchanter, Al Bundy. He is going in for the first time. This is like he did his duo session with Trey on Trey's Paladin when he was 36, Ding 37. This is a day or two later, trying to go in here and see if I can somehow solo on my Enchanter at level 37 in Crystal Caverns. So it doesn't go super smooth, but we start to figure it out, and I find a camp that you might want to see, that you might want to do if you're an enchanter, if whatever. Because you know with enchanters, the way that they fight normally, I mean, the best way to be fighting is to kill two things at once by charm fighting. So you take one enemy, you make it fight the other enemy, you get both of their healths very, very low, you break the pet, you kill them both, you get credit for both of them. So you kind of have to find specific situations and specific like camps and spawns that come in pairs almost. So you don't have to. You can set it up. You can lull. You can make one thing run in and fight a bunch of things to kill it. But you kind of set yourself up for that, whether it starts like that or not. And it's best kind of if it does start like that. But buffing up right now outside, getting ready to click on this crystal and go in. Just bound myself. Thinking, man, if I die, and I'm kind of glad I did that because I think I do die in this video. So I'm glad I bound right there because if I didn't do that right there, I think I would have been in. Man, where would he be? Where would Al Bundy be if I didn't bind right there? I think where'd he come from? He came from like Fear Rod or something way over there. He's probably bound like in somewhere crazy. So I'm glad I just did that. That'd be the first thing I would recommend if you're about to come into a new dungeon and you're looking for, you don't know, you're not sure. Definitely bind outside. I think that's just common sense. But taking my first look. We've been here with my Shadow Knight. We've been here with my Necro. I know the lay of the land, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it with my Enchanter. So conning stuff. First miner there was green. Those two are blue. I'm checking out these first spawns, and in my head I was thinking, well, there's one kind of running back and forth. There's three of them, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do those. And one of them was green, so we're going to make our way through and head a little bit further in. So I'm kind of looking for a pair that's blue, maybe a pair next to another pair. That way I can do a couple of them, a couple pairs. But this is the way down if you've never done it. Most people just go off the edge and levitate down, but if you don't have levitate, like I didn't have bat wings, so I didn't have levitate, this is the way to go. I feel myself starting to appear. Great. That was a great time for that to happen. So getting away from that orc a little bit. He may or may not see me. Oof. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm aggro, or maybe he was green and he was just far enough away, but I got that invis off just in time. So here's the bridges. This is where you would levitate down if you had lev. So I'm kind of looking, seeing where I can jump off. Boop. Jumped off right there, went down a little bit. Heading down some more. We'll kind of just do the critiquing my work here. I'd love to do some more live videos, live commentary. It just hasn't worked out yet. But head the non-crystal way. That's what I always say. Go to the very bottom bridge, the last bridge. You could go further than that, but there's no bridge. So you're going to the very last bridge is what you're doing, and then you're going the non-crystal way. And that's how you head towards the dwarf town, at least. So those two watchmen, you're going to see those pretty soon because we will backtrack, and that's the camp right there. Sneak peek, that's the camp. I didn't know it at the time. I have no idea what I'm going to fight at this point. I'm just trying to make it through. This cavern, sometimes it's hard to get up the other side. Sometimes I would get a different illusion on, like maybe barbarian or troll, so I could have an easier time of jumping out of the water. Worked right there, but you kind of have to go up a certain part of the cliff face to be able to climb it. Looking around, looking at these dwarves, seeing what's up, seeing if there's any enemies nearby. Because my thought was, why don't I fight near the dwarf town? That way, there's some guards nearby, so I have backup in case it doesn't go my way. So we're in the dwarf town. We're on our enchanter. We're level 37. We're looking around. We're trying to find something to kill. Hopefully in pairs. Looking around, looking for vendors, looking for... this was, right now I know quite a bit about Crystal Caverns. I know exactly where the banker is. I know exactly where the merchants are. The geos, the spiders, the terrors. I've fought the orcs. Like, I almost know this place like the back of my hand. Not quite. I still need to run my necro through every nook and cranny, which is what I could do that next, since my necro is over here. But I'm trying to, like, I don't want to do just Crystal Caverns back to back to back to back to back like we did with the Tower of Frozen Shadow. So I kind of want to get my necro. Maybe I'll get the footage and then I won't put it out, and then I'll go take my necro over to, like, Kazakh Duel or something. That's my other thing I got going on. But heading down out of the dwarf town now, this is kind of towards the geos. Let's see if there's anything over here for us to fight. Heading down to, like, the broken bridge, I think it is. I got Gift of Magic on, I got Clarity on, I got Greater Shielding, and I got Invis, and I'm in gnome form. Alright, that's the last guard. So I'm like, alright, maybe I can try these terrors right here. Even though in the previous video, the one thing we did have trouble charming was a terror, and then we switched to a spider to duo the geos. I don't know, man. Kind of a mistake here, you're about to see. But they are in pairs. So in my head, I'm like, dude, these are in pairs. It's right next to a guard. I should be okay. I should be able to at least try this without dying. But we're about to see. See what happens. I think this is where Trey fights terrors too. I think I saw him fighting terrors here one day. So this could be a good spot. I just don't think for 37 and for Enchanter. I think this is more like a 40. If you're level 40, the broken bridge would be an alright spot. There's two terrors, kind of one on each side of that doorway that you can see. And then there's two, like, on this side of the bridge, like way to the left and way to the right. The one thing I didn't keep in mind was there are Valium crawlers going throughout the water there. So if you get too close to the water, the Valium crawlers could join in. Somebody said that the Valium crawlers make a good pet too, so I'm gonna have to look at that. I used a spider last time, and since then I've used a terror, and even since then I've charm fought the geos, but I never thought to use a Valium crawler as my pet. That sounds like a good idea to me. But buffing all the way up, sitting next to a guard, I thought I was as safe as I could be. Talking to Trey, that's Trey on his druid, the person I'm talking to there. I think he's in Sky. He likes to raid. I want to raid one day. Just don't know. I don't know what's holding me back, really. It's, well, I kind of do. From raiding. Like, I have my 60 necro. I could definitely... I'm in a guild. I have a 60 necro. I could probably go to a raid. What's stopping me is, number one, when is the raid? And will I be, like, available to even go to it? Because it seems like they just happen out of the blue, like an earthquake happens, and you have to go, and they tell you where you're going. And who knows how long it's going to take? Who knows when it's going to start? Who knows when it's going to end? And I can't really sign up for any of that, usually. It would have to happen. It would have to be, like, very convenient for me to go on a raid. Like, it'd have to happen on a Sunday or late at night or early in the morning. It can't just be, like, at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday. There's no way I could do that. So I was talking to Trey there, I said, I'm going to try to solo in Crystal Caverns. Not sure how it will go, but bound outside. He said it's rough for his paladin. He does terrors and crawlers. So I should have thought, okay, crawlers. That means there's probably a crawler. I told him I'm close to the guards, but yeah. I like the little audio clip from the dwarf guard there. Alright, getting troll illusion. That's another thing. I need to go get my illusions. I've been lazy with that. You got to go all the way to Erudin to get all these illusions. But some of them are cool and some of them are useful. Like the only illusions I have right now on my Enchanter are just ones that you can get from like a normal city like Akanon or Nariak or something. So I'm missing like elemental. It's the main one I'm probably missing right now that would actually help me, like air elemental, because I could put that on and then that's my levitate. Like earlier I said, you know, I don't have any bat wings. I wish I could levitate. If I had illusion air elemental, I could have. So you got the air elemental, you got like a fire elemental, a water elemental, something like that. I might be wrong. I think it might be earth instead of fire or something. But anyway, they all do something. Some of them better than others. Like one might have a damage shield, one might give you underwater breathing, one gives you levitate, the troll gives you regen. The Ixar, there's an Ixar. It's a quest you have to do. It's like a level 20 spell or something. But it doesn't give you regen. So what's the point of that? Just to look like an Ixar, just to go into Cabelis, I guess? I don't know. But I wasn't too excited about that. Because I wish if he gave you regen, I'd be excited. I'd probably go get it. Because then I could have regen and not have to be so gigantic. So that's the bad part about becoming a troll. Is now I'm gigantic and I don't want to be in third person. I have to do first person, which I kind of want to do third person sometimes on these videos. And my ogre's giant. And usually my enchanters and troll illusions. So it's hard to show anything but first person. But there's some illusions in Erudin that I need to go get. It's like all the elementals, a skeleton illusion, a halfling illusion, a wolf, I think, and like a couple others, and then one I'm getting next level. I'm level 43 right now, so at 44, I'm gonna get Boon of the Garou, or at least I'm able to get that. I'm able to cast it. I think I have to buy that one in the tunnel, maybe. But there's there's a self one, so I can cast it on myself. And then there's one that you can cast on other players, and it gives them like lots of attack, dexterity, and a life tap. So it's pretty sweet. So these Valium crawlers kind of like jumped me. I wasn't really ready for them. I wasn't really trying to charm them or fight them or anything. So they kind of just jumped me, so I'm just having them fight each other, let the guard kill them, like kind of just getting rid of them. Sometimes as an enchanter, people don't really think about that portion of the solo mission, of the solo experience. Sometimes you're just getting rid of stuff. You're just either lulling it or memory blurring it or just charming it and having it fight like 4 different things just to kill it and then zoning out or something. Like right here, I'm not really caring. Whatever happens here, they're going to be dead. They're not going to bother me anymore. They're not going to be in my way. So I had the crawlers fight each other. The guard killed the one that I didn't have charmed while my crawler helped. And now I have the crawler attacking the terror over there, which another crawler jumped in, I think, from that waterfall. And now we got the guard. So it's just a big old Royal Rumble. A Survivor Series match. We got Money Inc. versus the Mega Maniacs. Over there. So it's a Valium Crawler and a Dwarf versus a Terror and a Crawler. Looks like one Crawler might have died. I think the Terror killed it. Now I'm trying to kill the Terror. The Dwarf Guard is trying to kill the Crawler. Well, I hit the Terror pretty good. I'm hoping to get the experience by killing it before that Dwarf gets done with his Valium Crawler. It'll probably be a pretty close fight. Those guards are only like level 35 or something. See how it's going over there. We got the experience for the Terror at least. Got something out of all that. I think we have just enough experience on 37 that if I die, I won't lose my level. Okay, so the guard is winning. The guard beat the Valium Crawler. So we have 3 Valium crawlers down and a Stalag Terror down between me and the guard there. But I only got experience for one thing out of all that. So sitting on the broken bridge, which is probably not the best place to sit because there's stuff in the water. What you really want to do, I don't think there's anywhere super safe to sit here. Because I used to sit in this hallway. You see where the torch is? I used to sit in that hallway and it felt pretty safe. But then one time a Valium crawler like pathed through the hallway and started to attack me while I was AFK. Luckily, I came back in time and I was able to like run to the guards or root it or something. I think I charmed it and had it fight the terrorists. I don't know. But yeah, that hallway's not safe either. This bridge isn't safe. That hallway's not safe. There's only one guard right there. It's probably safe to sit like back a bit behind that guard because he'll just take on anything instead of having it aggro you. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't done this room. Trey's done it. He probably knows more about this room than I do. But I was trying it here just to see if I could. I said guard is stealing my kills. Yep. Kind of have to be on the other side of the bridge. If you don't want the guard to steal your kills, you're going to have to be on the side we're looking at, not the side we're on. But I didn't know that. I was trying to play it safe, just figure it out here. That's going to be a lot of this video. I think like half of the video is me figuring stuff out, maybe even dying. And then the other half is when I do figure it out, and then I can recommend a certain camp to you. That was good for me. That got me a bunch of levels. And I got like a 25% weight reduction bag. There's a chance at a robe. And they came in pairs, and I was getting all kinds of experience. This might have been the weekend. You know how sometimes there's extra experience, like 50% extra experience and double loot and stuff like that? This might have been that weekend. But over here in Valius, the dungeons do give really good experience, like high Zim. So even if it wasn't, when you're doing Enchanter stuff, the experience goes really fast, dude. If you're doing it right. If you're killing 2 things at once, 2 for the price of 1, pretty much. So the amount of mana that I use is about as much as it would take to kill 1 thing for, like, my Necro, maybe. But I get to kill 2 things. So I can really kill, like, 4 things with 1 mana bar, if I do it right, before I even have to meditate. If I do it perfect, if everything goes perfectly and they don't break charm like 50 times and they both are the same strength and I get both kills. Like, if I do everything perfectly when I'm Enchanter charm fighting, I can kill like 4 things with one bar of mana. And then I just have to med up and I can do it again pretty quickly because I got clarity. But we got this terror here, that terror there. I thought, hey, why not have them fight each other? It's probably a good idea. And I've since done this successfully, but what I should have done, I should have been invis. I should have calmed them. And then I should have Tashani'd, and I think I did Tashani there, though. That's what I started with. Then I charmed it. But I'm just too low level here. That's the problem. Nothing I did was like, ooh, you should have done this, and you could have won. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I win. I can't remember. So I got the one rooted. See, they both break it. That's so stupid. That's like the worst case scenario, y'all. There's the guard just standing there, like, watching me die. Bang, I'm dead. Look how fast I died, too. Crazy. So what happened there, y'all? What'd I do wrong? The thing I did wrong there was just even attempting to fight them at all, basically. On level 37, those things can be up to level 37. So those things are probably 35-ish. And I was trying to charm fight them, which is not a good idea. But the root and the charm breaking at the same time, that doesn't really happen that often. That's like everything goes wrong. I Tashani'd the terror and then charmed it. I rooted the other one. I did everything I was supposed to do there and just, root and charm broke at the same time. There's nothing you can really do about that except for color shift and try to salvage the situation. Should have color shifted and then ran to the guard, maybe? I'm not sure. I think that's what I tried to do, but they just killed me so fast. I should have had my rune on. Anyway, the main thing was I just shouldn't even have tried that. Even if I have my rune on there, maybe I make it to the guard and I still die. Because I'd have to swim through that water. Like, the guard might come a-running. Probably would have been worse if I didn't. It could have been worse, probably. I could have died in the water, which is more annoying because your body can disappear if you die in the water. I've had that happen before. I was on the Freeport boat, the dumbest death I've ever had, but it also led to me losing my corpse. I made a video about it, but I think I was in like Butcher Block, and I was riding the boat to Freeport. It might even been on my Enchanter. But I went AFK because I was on the boat. And then I come back and I'm dead. I'm like, how did that happen? Like, if anything, I should just still be on the boat going back the wrong way, and I'd have to. That's what I figured, man. I get on the boat, I go AFK, like, how can I die here? Nothing can kill me on this boat. But what killed me was when I zoned, the boat like got out of sync or something, and I like just fell in the water and drowned or something like that. So I come back and I die. I'm just dead. I'm at my bind point, and last thing I knew, I was on a boat going from Butcher Block to Freeport. So I don't even know like which zone I died in. So I have to go back through my text and see like, okay, it loaded into this zone and then I died. So okay, now I know which zone I died in. It was I think Freeport. Well, as it was zoning into Freeport, the boat got out of sync and like dropped me into the water and I drowned. So now I gotta like find my corpse out there in the water. And you would think it would be like right where the boat comes in, but I don't know. It was just like it ended up. It was like off to the side a little bit and under the ground, like you can't even see it. So I had to go. I'd make swim laps and do /corpse or like use a corpse button. It's crazy. Eventually, I find it though, but it took a while. It was so annoying. You don't expect to die when you're. I did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? I just got on a boat and went AFK, and you think you'd be okay, but I don't know. Be careful doing that because you can die. You can drown. But here we go. We're heading back. Hey, enchanters die. It's no big deal. When I die on my enchanter like that, it comes with the territory. It's a thing you're gonna have to expect to die. If you're gonna play an enchanter, you're gonna die. It's probably the class that dies the most, I would say. You know, a tank, a warrior, paladin. They're supposed to die if they're in a group. That way no one else dies, but they're so big and beefy it doesn't happen too often, and people are healing them and all that. But going out the pool, it can happen sometimes. But Enchanter soloing, they get so much experience when it goes right that you can expect to also die when everything goes wrong. Maybe wizards and stuff, I don't know. I just know Enchanter's up there. It's probably top 5 for, dying most often while soloing at least. Even when you're in a group, if you mez and they all break at the same time, everything runs at you, the healer can't even heal you because you die so quick. Like that can happen too. But heading back to get our corpse, I don't think we need to watch all that, right? Looting the corpse, I made it. And we're heading back to the dwarf town. I'm going to go find something else to do. I don't think that's a good spot for me at this time. Like I said, eventually I come back to that spot. I kind of come at it at a different angle from the other way, on the other side. But I'm also like level 39 or 40 at that point. I'm not 37. So if you want to fight the crawlers and the terrors right there at the broken bridge, my recommendation is be at least level 40, no matter who you are. It's 37. I just got smacked around. Out of all that stuff that just happened, I got experience for 1 kill, and then I lost. Almost lost my level. Let's get all my spells back on. You don't need to know all that. You know, I got Root, my Stun, Tashani, Charm, a direct damage, maybe a Mez or something, another direct damage, Invis, buffs. Let's get to the part where I go find my next camp. So I'm back here at this cavern, looking around, trying to find what I'm going to do. Okay. Taking a peek. Trying to get across this water, maybe? Another thing that can happen here is if you're not in Biz, and you try to go across this, there's crawlers in this water. And then you can get stuck trying to go up either side. Like, I've got stuck and had to /rewind. If you jump off the side, you can like take fall damage. I mean, if you do it right, you don't, but it's not guaranteed, right? So this is the camp I'm going to try right here. This is it. So this is what the video is about for real. This camp right here. It's the Watchman Bridge is what I would call it. So this is like the last orcs before the dwarf town. Pretty much, basically. The last two orcs you see, if you come into Crystal Caverns via the crystal, and you're heading towards the dwarf town. These are the last two orcs you see before you get to the town. So I charm one, I'm having it fight the other. I'm rooting the one I'm not fighting. That's integral. In charm fighting with your enchanter, you're going to want to charm one and root the other. Because exactly what happened last time should almost never happen. Charm and root aren't going to wear off at the same time, normally. One will wear off and not the other, then you fix it. Then the other one wears off, but not the other, and you fix it. So one thing might wear off, but they're not going to both wear off at the same time most of the time. And if they do, that's when you're supposed to have your rune on and do your stuns. And that's the worst case scenario. So you prepare for that, but it's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to happen the first time I try to charm fight. You know what I mean? Like that should happen once a session, maybe. Like an entire 2 hours. I haven't had that happen in a long time, actually. Like, I'll charm one thing, have it fight something, root the other thing that's not charmed. And yeah, root will break here and there. I would just reroot it. Yeah, charm breaks like once a fight. I just recharm them. But to have them both wear off at the same time, that's just annoying bad luck. All right, so I let them fight until they were very close. They're almost both dead. That was perfect. So now I'm going to break the charm. I told the pet to back off. Break it with invis. Stun him because he's in my face, and then blow him up with the direct damage. And I get the experience. This is my pet right here. Boom, he's dead. I gain full experience. Here's the enemy the pet was fighting, but the pet's dead now, and the pet's not my pet. So first of all, the pet's not my pet anymore. Second of all, the pet's dead. So that's my experience, my full experience right there for both. So all the damage that the enemy did to my pet gets wiped away when it's not my pet anymore. And then all the damage that my pet did to the enemy gets wiped away when it's not my pet anymore, and even more so when I kill it. I kill the pet first because just to make sure, like anything that the pet did to the enemy is not still gonna count pretty much. I don't know. I just always do the pet first. Like I break charm. I could break charm because it's like you break charm and then you stun it. You might as well just kill it right there. Because you can't, like, keep it as your pet, kill the other thing, because then the pet is still your pet, and it did all that damage, and the pet's going to get some of the experience. So you only get, like, you want to kill the pet first, that way you don't get, like, half experience because the pet did a ton of damage. If you're going to break your pet, you might as well kill the pet first. So I didn't do a great job of explaining how I did that fight, but that's the first fight. So it's a 15-minute spawn, not too bad. So I'm going to sit here and meditate. And let me get to the next fight, because I do sit there for a minute. Looks like I'm heading back to the dwarf town for some reason. Why am I back there? Wonder what I'm doing. Maybe I'm going AFK, so I'm just going to sit here. Yeah, I wasn't, like, sure 100%. So I'm sitting here just to, I think I was going AFK or something. Alright, we're going back to the camp. Not sure why I went to the dwarf town there. He was asking me if I wanted a res. I said, nah, I'm good. Just, gotta pay to play, you know. I'm gonna head back to the camp here. I'm going back to the town again. What am I doing? It's like I'm lost or something. Alright, here's the fight. Let's watch this fight. Another fight. Same two enemies. What's cool about this one, I think pretty much every single time they were two watchmen and they were both blue. Like at 37. So this would be a great camp for you for like 36, 37, 38, 39. Maybe to get all the way to 40. Because I got quite a few levels. Alright, so this time I went in Viz. I target one of them. I skip back really far. I get this refined eventually. Okay, charm it. Have it fight the other one. Root the other one. Okay, now they're both under control. One is charmed in my pet, the other one is rooted. Tashani, right? Tashani, the one that we're fighting. I kind of like to see them. I don't want to be out of view because I want to see what's going on. So I'm going to sit pretty close, but like I say, I refine this. The way that I charm them, the way that I have them start fighting each other, where they're fighting each other. Eventually I refine that. Right now, this is just my second fight, so I don't know exactly what I'm doing yet. All right, charm wore off, but root, I just rooted, so we're good. We're good on the root. Gonna stun him. It's my pet. My former pet gets stunned. I back up a little bit. Something happened there. I Tashani, and I recharm. Not perfect, but it works. That was not a perfect recharm, but hey, we're still good. All right, so reroot. One thing you want to do while you're doing this is just keep rooting. Keep rooting the freaking enemy. You want it to be rooted. You never want that charm and root to wear off at the same time. So to prevent that from happening, just keep re-rooting like every 10 seconds or something. What I would do is get like a tick or two of mana and then root and then try to sit down and get the tick. You know what I mean? So I'd watch my mana bar. I'd get a tick. I'd stand up as soon as the tick, boom, cast my root, sit back down, try to get that next tick. Okay, so they're both getting really close to dying. It's working out good. We don't have like one thing beating the crap out of the other thing. Like they're both pretty equally matched. So you want to root and then back it off. Root the enemy and back off your pet, right? And then you target yourself, invis, escape, target the enemy, and then stun. Which I didn't do yet there. Remember, I'm refining. Refining. We're not quite there yet, but I stun it. I got my global cooldown working, which is good. Okay, so he stunned me out of my direct damage there. He's really beating the crap out of me. But he's dead, and I get full experience. And here's the one that's just waiting for us. We're going to reroute it just to make sure it doesn't come running at us while we're casting our direct damage. It took a minute for us to kill our pet there, so we're going to reroute. Now we're just Anarchy. Probably should have Chaos Fluxed, but it's okay. I just wanted to get that fight over. My health is at 40%. For my Enchanter, that's very low. I just wanted to get the fight over with so I could go sit somewhere and lick my wounds and do better the next time. So things I could critique from that fight is I normally will, when I break the pit, what I do now, and of course, people are out there going to tell me get the Circlet of Shadows or the Goblin Gazoogie Ring. I know. But for now, well, I don't have those things. What I do, let them both get very close to death, right? And hopefully they're at the same level. Not one's not kicking the other one's butt. They're both close to death. Reroute the enemy, back off the pet. That's what I do. Okay, so the pet's just standing there guarding. The enemy's just standing there rooted, but they're far enough apart that they're not attacking each other anymore. So I make sure I root the enemy for sure before I break the pet. Like one last time, safety root. And then I will target myself, invis, which will break the pet. And while that's happening, like while I'm casting invis and breaking the pet, I will hit escape. And then I will target my pet while it's still my pet. Like the invis is happening. I'm casting it. I already cast it on myself, but it like takes a minute for to cast it. So while it's casting, I'll escape, so I'm not targeting anything. I'll target my pet. It's still my pet. There's still a pet bar. I can click on it. And when invis actually hits me, and it's not my pet anymore, and it starts rushing me, that's when I global cooldown, color shift. Hopefully, it barely touches me or doesn't touch me at all. It gets stunned. I back up a couple steps, global cooldown, Anarchy or Chaos Flux, or Root, and then finish it off. So I'm getting better and better at like refining that. Right now, I'm kind of looking for something else to kill. I think I paused and I got my HP and mana back. So I'm kind of looking around to see if I can find another pair to have go at each other while I'm waiting on the Watchman to respawn. which I do eventually find. Like, this is okay, this spider. There's like one spider, and then the one orc across the bridge. You can have those two fight each other. But it ended up glitching out on me at some point, and I couldn't target the spider anymore, so I had to not do that. Kind of stuck down here, I think. It's hard to get back up. Being a gnome, you're so short and little. Sometimes I have to actually do illusions to get taller so I can jump up on stuff. But I'm kind of got stuck down here, which we don't really need to be watching. I find my way out eventually. I'm going to show the beginning of this fight, though. Anyway, I guess we got to watch the whole thing. But I'm trying to find another pair to add to this camp, because I want to have at least 2 pairs. I'm not just going to do the 2 watchmen and that's it, even though that was fruitful and cool. I want to do as much as I can, because 15-minute respawn, it takes me like 5 minutes. I have like 10 minutes to sit there, and most of the time when you're charm fighting, I'm only using up like 40% of my mana and maybe 20% or 40% of my HP, so it doesn't take me too long to get it all back. So I kind of want to add another fight in there. So we got a miner, which I don't remember, is it green or blue here? Hopefully it shows me. I went ahead and charmed the miner, which is not what I end up really wanting to be doing. What I end up doing for real is charming the spider and having the spider come up here and fight the orc. Because now I got them, they're down there, and I have to go back down there to get the loot and stuff. I mean, I could back them off, but who knows where they're going to go. So this is my first time fighting these two against each other, so it gets better eventually. Eventually, like I said, I'll charm the spider, bring it up to the bridge, and have it fight the miner. But for now, we're having the miner fight the crawler. The miner's my pet, the crawler is the enemy. We root the crawler. The crawler is winning, so we're going to start helping our pet. So that's kind of what you do. If your pet is winning, you want to have it sit. Because every time you sit your pet, like, the enemy could hit it for, like, a crit. Like, hit it for max damage, right? So if your pet is winning by too much, have your pet sit. Sit as much as possible. Sit, 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 sit. So it's not attacking, and so the enemy can hit it for, like, pretty much max damage, right? If the enemy's winning, that's better usually. I don't like when my pet's winning, because it's harder to get my pet back in line, back even with the enemy, right? So what I prefer is that the enemy is winning. That way I can just shoot some direct damage at the enemy and even out the fight that way. Some people will use like speed and slow to do that. The fights are like so quick for me, like I'd rather just do a direct damage or have the pet sit. It's usually what I do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does, you know. Sometimes having the pet sit thing doesn't let the enemy catch up as much, but it's okay. As long as you knock out over half of the enemy's health, it's still better than like soloing it at full health. Sometimes you just let something kill the other thing and just let it be what it is. Like, if the enemy's just way too strong and your pet's getting destroyed, just let the enemy kill your pet and then just figure out stuff from there. Looks like a watchman jumped in. How did that happen? So we're having a big old cluster F here. How did that all happen? Hold on a sec. Let me go back. I was too busy talking. So I got the miner fighting the spider down there. Oh, the watchman spawn. I took too long. They're both here. Dang. And the miner's almost dead. Okay, the miner died, so now I have 3 things after me. I got interrupted there. Not good. Cast Beguile, have those two fight each other. Sometimes that's... If you just cast Color Shift and you can't cast it again, might as well charm something and have them fight each other. See, this is how the spider gets bugged, right here. The miner and the spider were fighting. The miner dies. And then I'm over here fighting the watchman, and just the spider just never shows up. And then it's like down there, but I can't target it eventually. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I even go to the dwarf city, I think, because I'm afraid I'm going to start a train. See, my root spell wore off. I'm not sure if that's from the spider or the watchman. But that was a mistake right there by me, just not keeping track of my timers. And I was standing right there when the watchman respawned, and I was still fighting another fight. So I just let the watchman kill the other watchman, and then I have it attack the spider. Which I guess this isn't when the spider got bugged. Never mind. So having my watchman kill the spider, I think I just let it happen. When it's like a cluster like that, just let whatever happens happen, and you can figure it out later, type of stuff. If there's at one point there was 4 enemies on me, so I'm like, all right, let the miner die, that's fine. Now I only got 3 on me. Charm one of these watchmen, have them fight each other. Now I only got 2 on me. Spider finally comes, just have the pet kill the spider. Now there's only 1 enemy to deal with, and it's my pet. So sometimes, man, you just gotta do what you gotta do. I'm looking for something now for this watchman to fight. It's like the story of an enchanter. It's way better when you just have like a pair, and you just have they both fight each other, and you don't have to be looking around for stuff. This is my first time, like I said, my first time soloing in Crystal Caverns right here. Like, what am I gonna do with this watchman? I don't know. I don't know. He's got like 70% health. I think I might kill him. I think I'm just waiting for him to break charm, and then I'm just gonna kill him, which it takes a ton of mana. But hey, everything's gonna be dead. I can just go sit and meditate. Eventually, I find a good spot to sit that's not like all the way at the dwarf town across the freaking cavern. I guess I decided to go to the dwarf city actually. This happened a couple weeks ago, so forgive me for not remembering exactly. Kind of have to like getting up on this side isn't as easy as it looks sometimes. Yeah, I just end up going to the dwarf town. Like, screw this. That was a big cluster F. Let me reset. Go sit by the guards. Go sit in the dwarf town. Maybe. Who knows? All right, let's go ahead a little bit. Yeah, he comes here. I'm going to try to kill him next to the... Okay. So that's what I was doing. I'm going to get closer to the dwarf guards while I solo this watchman. Because I have to kind of do the root direct damage stuff. Which isn't as reliable. It takes a ton of mana, too. It's more like a way a wizard would fight, I guess. I guess wizard's mostly like AoE kite. See how it goes, baby. We're running low on mana, but we got them. So we made the best out of all that. The Allium Great Staff, that's worth like 5 or 6 plat. But now I'm really low on mana, kind of low on HP, so I'll probably go sit. Ooh, I got a Valium Crawler on me now. See, this is what I was talking about earlier. Gotta remember to invis if you're gonna see what I do with this thing. Root it? I think I was ready to go, too. I'd got all my mana and HP back. I just forgot to invis. Forgot to invis on my way back to my camp, and this Valium Crawler attacked me. So everything was going. Eventually, it gets smooth, I promise. I wonder if I have a whole nother session recorded where everything went perfectly smooth, but I don't know if I'm going to show that or not. But I do figure it out eventually here, yeah. I make a camp out of all this. It's pretty much the 2 watchmen, and then have the spider fight the miner. Or you can have the miner fight, there's another watchman, like deeper in, across the bridge. But if you go even further, there's like a foreman with like a bunch of miners, and that was like too scary. Because there's like 4 or 5 miners, they're down on a different level, like under a bridge. You'd have to invis and go in there and calm a bunch of stuff, and who knows what's gonna come. I wasn't really trying to F with all that. I got this Valium Crawler. I'm trying to memory blur it. See, this is what I was talking about. So I root it, trying to figure out how to memory blur. Trying to get as far away from it as I can, but still like be able to memory blur. So memory blur. Alien crawler blinks a few times. Somebody out there said it's only like a 30% chance that works. I cast it a couple of times. Casting my global cooldown, which is also Alliance. Do another memory blur. Gonna duck out of the way, hoping I'm far enough away, hoping it, the only way to tell is if it follows you with its eyes, but it's hard in dungeons with like tight quarters and hallways and corner. Yeah, like how are you supposed to dance around it far enough away that you can tell it? All right, let's see if it worked. Looks like it worked. It's just kind of coming towards me, but then it goes down. So it actually worked. I finally got memory a blur to work. Finally, got it to work. So successful memory blur. So I'm gonna do a troll illusion. I'm gonna get all my mana back, and I'm not sure if I paused or not. So I did probably. All right, so we're going in to fight some more. Same little hallway. Going in Viz. I think I forgot to record the Watchman fight here, because I did kill the 2 Watchmen. We got the Spider, who's blue. He's way down there, though. So I'm going to go ahead and charm the Spider. I think this is a better way to do it. Charm the Spider. There's a Watchman over there this time instead of a Miner. The Watchman's definitely blue. All right, and have the Spider fight the Watchman. Root the Watchman. Tosh the Watchman. That way when I do my direct damage spells, when I do root again, if I have to end up stunning it, it won't resist as much. Now I'm just kind of chilling, sitting here watching, rerooting, hoping that they're gonna be an even matchup. You're just watching like HP bars and rerooting at this point. And then if your Spider breaks charm, you recharm it. So I'm sitting here getting mana back, watching the fight. This is a good example of a charm fight. The Spider's my pet. The Watchman's what we're fighting. The Watchman is rooted. The Watchman is Tashani'd. I just re-Tashani'd it for some reason. Re-rooted it. You know, I'm trying to keep my mana up. Trying to sit there. I'm trying to not do so much. The Crawler was losing. So I want to do 1 direct damage to the Watchman to make them more even. Reroot the Watchman. Alright, it's getting kind of close. When the fight gets close to, like, when they're both getting low on health, I'll kind of just stand there. Because I don't want to be sitting and, like, I want to be ready to root, like, right as they're about to die. And then I back it off, back it off. Come on, back off. Alright, then I tell my pet to guard, right? Okay, I'm going to reroot the Watchman. I want him rooted, like, make sure he's rooted while I'm killing my pet. Alright, I'm going in Viz. Break my pet. Pet breaks. Pet is actually running because it's so low on health, which is cool. I stun it anyway. And then I Anarchy. Which I don't know if a Color Flux would have worked there or not. But you kind of want to do your whatever direct damage spell. You want to have like a couple direct damage spells up. That way you like use less mana. You don't want to be like doing an Anarchy if you could do a Chaos Flux. But bang, I got experience for both. Went pretty good. 2 kills for the price of 1 there. And hopefully that was, you know, I killed the 2 Watchmen and then I killed those 2. And now hopefully I got the Watchman on a timer. So I sat here. This isn't exactly. This is pretty safe though. If you want to sit here, you could sit here. But got all my mana back. Got my HP back. I'm looking to see if they repop yet. Nothing's back up yet, so kind of waiting on these Watchmen to repop. And yeah, I already killed this thing. I already killed the Spider, so they're dead. So I can sit over here and wait for the Watchmen to repop. which is not exactly what I end up doing, since I'm not sure if I'm going to show like just me killing the watchman. There's like a back where you come across the little cavern where I got attacked by that Valium crawler, there's like a spot, you know, where I was sitting when I memory blurred the crawler and the crawler was kind of coming towards me. That's where I end up sitting in between spawns, like when I'm AFK. Nothing's there at all. But even the hallway past this watchman is pretty safe. So I'm casting charm. You almost have to let the enemy attack you so the the charmed pet will start fighting it. Target the enemy that's not charmed. Nope. I tried to cast it on my pet. Wrong thing. All right, now we got it. All right, so one thing is charmed. The other thing is rooted into shanied. So now I'm going to sit and watch the fight. If my pet starts winning like crazy, I'm going to make my pet sit. If the enemy starts winning like crazy, I'm going to start doing direct damage. But all the while, I'm going to keep rerouting the enemy to make sure I don't have both of them running at me at the same time. That's the goal. You know, my pet could break charm. I can't really prevent that, but I can prevent the enemy from running at me by keeping it rooted. For keeping that enemy rooted, the fight looks like it's pretty even. Like the pet's losing by a little bit, which is good. Kind of what I want. So I'm going to cast one Chaos Flux to knock down the enemy a little bit more. Alright, so now my pet's kind of winning by a little bit. So I'm going to have it sit. So the enemy can get some good hits on it. Because the enemy is fine. Like, I could kill the enemy at that health. You know, you want to get them as low as possible, but you kind of want them both at least at like 20% if you can get it. So the enemy's about to die, like it's really close. It only has a sliver left. So I had to tell the pet to get away from it. Tell the pet to guard, reroute the enemy. Okay, now I'm going invis to break my pet. Okay, target the pet, or the former pet, stun it. The enemy got unrooted, but it's just walking away because it's so low on health. Bang, kill the former pet. And then root the enemy so it doesn't get too far. Global cooldown, Chaos Flux. And look how much mana I have. So I just got 2 kills, and I still have almost 60% mana. So that was a good representation of how to do it right there. So we've done pretty much 2 good fights in a row now. Actually 3, but I didn't record the one. So I'm getting better and better and better and better. The more you do this, the better you're going to get. You're going to know what to do when, and if this is happening, you do this, and if that's happening, you do that, and what order to push stuff in, and, you know, have a global cooldown. But eventually, man, I do this for a while. I go all the way from 37 to, like, at least 40. Something like that. Just on this, right here. And you could potentially get the Herbalist, who has a chance at dropping a 25% reduction bag. And I think a robe. It's like a rare one, though. And so I'm waiting for these other 2 to spawn. Kind of want to kill them. I might have paused there and got some mana back, too. When I'm recording this stuff, I'm not going to make you watch me meditate, usually. So if it looks like there's a jump cut, it's probably just for me to meditate. Or wait for a spawn or something. If I was doing this live, I might... I don't know. But in the future, y'all, I'm going to do probably Necro and finish up Khazak Thul, looking around Khazak Thul. We're not exactly like hunting anything specific there. We're just looking in every nook and cranny. All right, the spider's back. The Watchmen are dead. They're on a timer now. They probably got killed about 4 minutes ago, so there's still like 10 minutes until they repop. So this is way better than before. Okay, we got a Watchman and a spider. That's pretty good. They're both blue. So I'm going to charm the spider. Now, ideally, I would Tashani it and then charm it and do all that stuff. But at this time, I was just charming the spider, sending it against the Watchman, rooting the Watchman, Tashani the Watchman, and then kind of just sit, try to get some mana back, watch the fight, keep an eye on the fight, see who's winning. Do I need to make the pet sit? Do I need to shoot a direct damage? but I keep rerouting. You know, I'll catch a couple ticks of mana. I think some people out there don't really think about, you know, you can get a tick of mana every 6 seconds, right? So sometimes, especially when you're low on mana, if you got full mana, don't do this, but sometimes when you're running from mob to mob or whatever, going from spot to spot, you might try to sit every 6 seconds and catch your tick of mana. So if I'm like running from here to, let's say I kill the 2 watchmen and I go back and I'm sitting and I'm getting my mana back, and then I want to go see if the other 2 are up. But I don't have full mana yet. Let's say I have like 70%. Well, on my way to check, I'm going to be sitting every 6 seconds to catch my mana tick. You know what I mean? You don't just like run around and not. You get a tick of mana every 6 seconds. So if you sit every 6 seconds, you're going to still catch that mana tick without. It's like you can sit there and just sit. It's kind of like canny dancing. You can just cannibalize all your health down and then just sit there, and that's kind of the lazy way to do it. Or you can like canny dance, right? You can either sit there and get all your mana back on an enchanter, or you can go check on stuff and sit every 6 seconds while you're meditating, kind of. You're not, there's like real, I'm still getting the same mana. So if a person's just sitting there, they're getting a mana tick every 6 seconds. I could be running from place to place, still getting the same amount of mana as the person just sitting there, as long as I sit down every 6 seconds for like a half a second. So as you're moving from thing to thing, like sometimes on the geos I do that. So Trey is going from geo to geo. I'm following along, but I'm also sitting every 6 seconds. You know, he'll be attacking it, fighting it. 5 seconds later, here I am. But I get to sit. I'm getting ticks of mana. That's what I'm doing, sitting every 6 seconds to get a tick of mana. It's sometimes like very valuable. Like it's super needed. Like I'm low on mana. I have to catch these ticks. So just think about that. It doesn't take that much longer to sit for a tick than it does just to run from place to place or whatever. I don't know. Just a thought. I think I saw Classic doing that. It made me want to start doing it. He was sitting to catch ticks of mana as he was going from place to place. And I'm like, that's a good idea. I'm going to start trying that. So shout out to Classic EverQuest, because I think I saw him doing that, and that's why I started doing it. It's a good idea. It's just like a good way to play sometimes. All right, I'm checking out this next room because I'm like, just seeing the limits of the camp. Can I do more? Is there something else close by that's a nice little pair? What's Foreman Rizak? Is he a good thing to kill? Is he a name? Does he drop anything good? I'm just like checking stuff out in this next room. And to me, it looked like a little bit more trouble than it was worth. I mean, I think I actually do mess around with it. But, yeah, I think overall it's kind of just like a little bit more trouble than it's worth for me solo. I got my 4 kills. You know, my timer's running. I'm probably just bored and looking around. I got full mana, full HP. Kind of just seeing what there is to be seen. If there's anything, I'm looking for like Valium crawlers right now, I think. Maybe there's Valium crawlers down there I could make fight each other. I don't know. Just checking stuff out. Looking around in between. That sometimes I was like actively doing this, and sometimes I was just going AFK in between. Eventually, once I figure everything out, like, all right, I'm gonna kill these 2 watchmen, and then I'm gonna have that spider fight the other watchman across the bridge. That's 4 kills, and then I have whatever 6 minutes to sit here and get all my mana and HP back and like rebuff and stuff. Trying to figure out how to get back up too. Pretty tough like I said, as a gnome, you're short. And there has to be a way, right? They're not going to let you get stuck down here. But sometimes it was taking me a second to figure it out. It sucks when you're like getting attacked and you're trying to run to the guards, but you can't figure out how to get out of like a cavern like that. But I eventually figured it out. I'm just waiting on these watchmen now. Got about 10 minutes left in the video. The 1 watchman's up. Might as well go ahead and charm it. And have them fight the other one. And then root. You don't root your pet. You're rooting the enemy that your pet is fighting. I remember when I first started charm fighting, when I was looking it up and trying to figure it out, and like, how do I do it? What spells do I cast? How does this work? How are you able to kill 2 things for the price of 1? What happens to your pet? How do you kill the enemy without your pet getting credit for it? Like, I was thinking all those things, asking all those questions in my head and looking them up and figuring it out and all that. You know, I thought you rooted your pet and the enemy, which obviously you can't root your pet, but I don't know. Just letting you know. I'm just saying. I'm like over explaining it because I remember being there and not knowing what to do. Just watching them fight pretty much, sitting, getting mana back. My pet was winning a little bit too much, so I had my pet sit a couple times. The enemy's dying a little bit too fast. Pretty even now, though. Not too bad. You just want to get them both as close to death as possible, and you're hoping it happens exactly at the same time and that you don't have to help too much. So the more you have to help, the more mana you use, you know? So we're rooting the enemy. We're trying to get that enemy to hit the pet a couple more times before I... Alright, the enemy's really close to dying, so I'm having my pet back off. Ooh, it's super close. Alright, look how much that enemy has. But, hey, he got another hit or 2 on my pet. Alright, so I'm targeting myself. I am invising, and then I... getting ready to target the enemy. But you can do that ahead of time. Like, just hit escape and then target the enemy while you're casting invis. I figured that out eventually. Trying to kill my pet. Boom, shakalaka. Full experience off of that. Now look at this enemy with like just a nipple hair of health. Put that in the chat. Put that in the comments. Put nipple hair. It's the secret word today. A lot of y'all out there getting it. That means you listen to the whole video. That's crazy. I appreciate that. You know, that helps me the most. Other than like super chats and memberships and just like literal money. The thing that helps me the most is when you watch the entire video, like watch time. That's the next best thing. So memberships are cool because it's like a monthly thing, monthly income. Super thanks is awesome because it's like just you showing appreciation for the video, and you know in the live streams, like super thanks and super stickers are awesome and keep the channel going and everything. But under that, for free, like the best thing you can do for free. Let's say you're already subscribed, you already hit like, you already left a comment. The best thing though is watch time. Just watching the videos, and if you're putting the secret word in the comments, that means you're getting you're watching the whole video and you're really helping me out, and you actually enjoy it because you're watching it. So it's like a double whammy. It really makes me feel good when you guys put the secret word in the comments, because just like I said, double whammy means you enjoy it, means you're watching, means watch time, you're paying attention, you're listening to what I'm saying, and you're getting to the end and you're watching like most of the video. So that's sweet. So no, I say stupid stuff, but nipple hair. Put that in the put it creatively, like down under a comment somewhere. You don't have to just write nipple hair, I guess. I don't know. You can though if you want. But we're gonna do another like maybe 1 or 2 fights. We're getting better and better at this. In current times, I can fight the geos. I can charm fight the geos. I just can't charm fight all of them yet. Like I could do 6 out of the 8, and then like they're repopping. But I'm not dying. I could take the geocamp. I could claim the geocamp, but I can't like kill all of them and then have enough time to get enough HP and mana to then kill all of them again. So charming the spider, sending it against the miner, rooting the miner, toshing the miner, sitting. I'm going to catch a couple of ticks of mana. Oop, got a tick. Watching them fight, keeping an eye on their health. Telling the pet to sit because the pet is destroying this miner. This miner's probably green. Crawler's probably blue. The miner's probably green. So we gotta. Sometimes it just doesn't help. Sometimes you're going to have a pet that just destroys the enemy, and you just have to tell it to back off, and then you have to use a bunch of mana killing your pet, and then you kill the enemy. So the sooner you realize that, the better. Like, the sooner you realize your pet is destroying the enemy, the better. So you can start having your pet sit, so you can make it as close as possible. Get the most out of that enemy as you can, so you don't have to use as much mana. Like now I'm gonna have to direct damage this spider for half of its health, which is better than all of its health. But ideally, that spider would only have one direct damage worth of health left, whether it's Anarchy or Chaos Flux. But anyway, it is what it is. Stuff happens. So I'm going Invis to break Charm. And now I gotta kill this thing, and it's got so much health. And another thing about the pet having a bunch of health is that the enemy is going to stand there longer and have a longer time to break root. I'm rooting the crawler. I'm like, dude, come on. All right, Anarchy. My big bad DD. Boom, 282. Rooted again. Should probably throw a root. Oh, he ran away. Where'd he go? See, that's what I'm talking about, Willis. And then root breaks on the crawler. Boom, I kill it though. And the miner kind of just disappeared. I don't know where he went. I don't know what happened to the miner, right? Who knows where he went? So I think that's the video. I think I run back to the dwarf town. Like, I have no idea where that thing is. I'm looking around. I'm looking everywhere, and I just can't find him. Does anybody know how much is that crystalline silk worth? That's one question I asked that nobody had an answer for. I was in the tunnel one time, and somebody was looking to buy it, and I asked them, like, how much you paying, or how much. I was like, hey, I'm curious, how much does that go for? And they wouldn't tell me. They like left the zone, and then they weren't even like off the game. They just wouldn't answer my question. This is where I end up sitting, right here, right there, in between spawns. I'll kill the 2 watchmen. I'll come sit there. Or actually, I'll kill the 2 watchmen. If I have enough HP and mana, I'll just kill the spider and the miner too, and then I'll go sit there. This water does have crawlers in it, so you want to be careful. You want to be invis. You don't want to aggro them. But I'm trying to get back to the dwarf as soon as possible because I don't know where the freaking miner is, and I'm afraid he's making like a gigantic train right now, and they're gonna come after me very soon. I'm kind of panicking a little bit, like, oh crap, I can't get up the side of this thing. I'm gonna end up getting attacked by like 50 orcs and dying in the water. But I get up there eventually, and we're almost to the dwarf town, so I think we're good. Or no, I went the wrong way. Oops. I went the wrong way, but the miner just, where's he at? There's no train, there's no miner. I don't know where he went. He just poofed out of existence. I don't think I got experience. His body's nowhere to be seen. He's not wandering around walking anywhere. I don't know what happened there. Sometimes that will happen when you're charm fighting, like, and when that happens, man, I say gate, zone out, or go somewhere super safe. Don't be hoping everything's good. See, like right here, it's hard to get up. You're going back to the dwarf town. Sometimes it's tough to get back up there. Now I'm stuck, look. I'm stuck. What is that? And see through the wall and everything? I think I have to backslash rewind here. I get stuck. Or no, I gate. Okay. I'm literally stuck, like I can't move. And I have a train potentially coming towards me. The miner is gone. He did not die. He's just wandering around. He could be making a gigantic train. Finally, I rewind. I was thinking about gating. I just don't want to die to a huge train. But right here, you kind of have to like jump from section to section to... Like, I'm too short to climb up there. So I have to like get on a different... And it's just not working at the moment. Like, I have to get up here, but it's tough. Too short. And then I get stuck again, guys. Look, I get that spot, just you get stuck. So then I gate. I'm like, screw this. I'm gating. Luckily, the Valium Crawler didn't attack me. Luckily, that miner didn't come looking for me with 50 of his friends. But yeah, I think that's the video, y'all. Started out first time trying to solo. Crystal Caverns and tried to fight those terrors by the dwarf town by that guard. Died. Didn't work out. It was a whole cluster. But I find the Watchman Bridge. It's a good camp. I end up recording, I think, a whole another session of me just killing those Watchmen, charming that spider, having it fight the other one across the bridge, just doing those 4 every 15 minutes. I did it all day for like 3-4 days. I think there's extra experience and extra loot too. So it's a good one. But that's what I would recommend if you're an enchanter out there and you want a charm fight and you're not quite ready for terrors or spiders or geos. Try the orcs. Try the last 2 orcs before you get to the dwarf town. It's 2 watchmen on a bridge. Have the 2 watchmen fight each other. When you're done with that fight, if you have enough mana, if you have enough HP, if you have enough time, charm the spider that's down under the bridge and have it fight the other orc that's across the bridge. Get those 4 kills and then go sit back towards the dwarf town. Don't go over the cavern to the dwarf town, but on the side we're already on, just that spot I was sitting when I memory blurred that Valium crawlers, where I would sit in between. So I don't know. I might make another video on this, but that's that. That's me figuring it out. That's me learning. That's me getting better and better. That's me at level 37 in the Crystal Caverns, soloing, charm fighting. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel, comment below. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.